my opinion, spirituality is there with us all the time. So when things are going great, it's there, and when things are going bad, it's there, and when things are normal, it's absolutely there, right? Because our purpose is for us to be happy and not suffer and kind. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another session of Talks. So during my journey, I generally come up with tools to deal with different things. And so today, what I like to talk about are tools that we can use to get out of our own heads. Generally, I'll hear the comment, oh, I overthink things. I don't know why it is that when such and such happen, I have to feel a certain way. Or how can I stop my thoughts from coming through? When I'm meditating, my mind can't be quiet. I need to stop thoughts. So a couple different things. One, we might be able to slow our thoughts down. We might be able to concentrate on something else, but we can't stop thoughts from what I've seen. Unless you have practiced it to such a point where the thought of not thinking about something is not a thought. Because to me, if I say, I'm only going to think of the darkness, I'm only going to think of the darkness, I'm only going to think of the darkness, I'm thinking. That's a thought. So I've never been able to experience a no thought. If anyone has been able to do that and you have tricks that you can do that with, please put it in the comment below, because I would really love to learn that trick. The only time I can figure out that I might have no thoughts is when I'm sleeping or I'm unconscious. But I would really love to hear what it is that you guys do to have no thoughts. With that said, I'm going to put on screen what I consider the Terry mind state. This is a 9-step process that we go through that deals with the different bodies that we have. So if you go through the Kabbalah, it will tell you have a physical body, you have a vital body, then you have the astral body, and you have your emotional body. So the physical body is where we are. This is the one where we have all 5 senses. This is one where I'm talking to you, you're hearing me, we have everything vibrates and stuff like that. Then right above that is our will. This is the thing that drives us to actually do something. Okay? It's the will. It's not the decision maker. It's just the willpower. It's the one that stands between the body being animated and your mind or your heart saying, here's what we need to do, because the heart is where you make decisions. Then above your emotional body is the ego. It's the logical body. I forget what that's called, but it's the logical body. I'll put that on screen so that we can see exactly the lineup of those 4 bodies that I'm going to be discussing. So let's get started. Also, I'll put on screen the Terry mind state so that you can follow along with what it is that I am mentioning to you. So if you look in the top left-hand corner, you will see the word formless. Okay? So the first 3, which are your mind, your brain, and your heart, are called formless, because what goes on there we can't see. It's the vibrational reality that we have. There's another thing that I have that explains to us what the vibrational reality is. And then we have form. Form is our body. It's a 3-dimensional space. It's a space that we inhabitate. Okay, that's the one that has solid, liquid, and gas. The 4th state, which is formless, is spiritual. It's a vibrational. So let's start with the top left-hand corner. It says mind. mind goes across. The first thing that happens is we have thoughts. Thoughts come in. You really can't control them. Thoughts are either yours or they come in from the outside. You may or may not believe this, but that's the case. The thoughts that are yours, I'm not sure if you would consider them thoughts. They're really a feedback loop from your body and the heart and everything that's going on that says, okay, here are some of the things that I'm going to put into your subconscious because we don't know what they are. So it's just going to put it in there and they're going to help us later on to make decisions. This whole process is to try to put things into that subconscious that will help us to make decisions later on by increasing our default consciousness so that the decisions and the way we feel is better than the last time. Between 1 to 5% of our awareness, of our consciousness, is what we know of. Before that, in thoughts, those are our subconsciousness that we are not fully aware of. So think about this. We have only between 1 to 5% that we are totally aware of. And our mind brings that in just because it says, okay, here's something that happens. Here's something that you are going to need to pay attention to or to focus on. And attention is in the brain. But here's something that I need to bring to your awareness. So the mind brings it to your awareness. Now, when it brings it to your awareness, and remember, all this happens in a split second. So even though this is going to take a while to explain, this is literally a split second. It brings it into your awareness. Then, once it brings it into your awareness, that is something you are going to focus on. And that's all the mind does. The mind says, here's a reception I just got. This reception was from inside or outside. It doesn't care. It says, this reception I am going to put in the consciousness. That's like putting it on screen so you can see it. Everything else is in the background. It says, this might be important. This might be something that we need to be aware of. Okay, puts it there. Then it says, yep, go ahead and focus on this brain. So it gives that to the brain. And so when it gives that to the brain says, I just got an intention. The input from the brain is the intention. And all this goes into input, process, output, almost like a manufacturing state. You have to put something in, then you have to do something with it, and then it becomes something else on the outside. It's the input, process, output stage. So the input from the mind, which is the focus, becomes the intention for the brain. The intention says, all right, I am now going to pay attention to it. So this is something now, what's the difference between focus and attention? It's a question actually. It's a question that was asked. When you're focusing on something in the mind, it's just something that comes up in your awareness that you're giving it. Okay? It's just there. When you're focusing on it, you're focusing on that through the brain in order to get an interpretation. Now you're linking something else with it because the mind, that focus that it's going to put on it, it puts that focus on there with the ego. And ego is not bad. Ego is just something that we deal with. The ego is there to help us. The ego can be good or the ego can be bad depending on how we use it. Same thing with the heart. It can be good or it can be bad the way in which we use it. We can go more into egos and the different ones and how we can translate them or interpret them so that we can use them for our benefit. But let's say that it's there to help us in this state, okay? In this state, the ego of, pride comes up, or the ego of laziness comes up. The ego of gluttony comes up, right? So if it's laziness, it's going to say, hey, I am going to tell the brain that we need to attach the interpretation of chill to this one. So the brain is going to go in and it's going to find an example of a memory that it can retrieve and say, hey, okay, so this thought that just came in triggered this memory from before. And remember, the mind, the brain goes through and it retrieves the information. And when it retrieves the information, the way in which it processes the information before isn't necessarily the same way it's going to process the information now. It goes in and it looks at that picture and it says, oh, This is something I need to just chill out for because the last time I tried to do something here didn't work out, had a bad experience. So this means chill. Puts it into the heart. And the heart is now going to make a decision. You only make decision through your heart. It's the only place to make a decision. And the heart is then going to say, what's my perception? So the perception here is bringing it in and says, okay, I perceive this as put in an emotion of this on there. Okay, I perceive it as I put in an emotion of fear, or I perceive it as I put an emotion of happiness, or I perceive it as I put an emotion of sadness. So it puts some emotion to the ego. So now if you have an ego that says, hey, this is lazy, and the brain says, the time when you did this the last time, this is the image that I'm going to show you of what didn't turn out that well. Then the heart says, then I need to attach the emotion of fear to this so that the body can sense that fear. It attaches emotion of fear to it. Now you have everything baked together. So you have an ego of laziness, you have a picture in your head of what went wrong, and you have an emotion of fear. We have just attached all that together and sent it to the body. The body now gets it, and we react. Okay, it goes back again, and it's a loop. We react to that. We are going to feel something. We're going to feel stressed. So the brain is going to take over from the other things that it needs to do. Because remember, the brain is not only going through this, the brain is also controlling all this stuff with the body. So when the heart gives it the emotion, it says, oh, I need to increase cortisol because this is a stress situation. I need to increase my worry hormones. I need to increase that because this is what's going on here. And so it automatically just goes into that default. All of a sudden, we start feeling upset. Our immune system goes down. We don't know why it is that we feel like we're in a funk, blah, 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 right? We smell something, and all of a sudden, that smell is attached to that experience. So I just went through the stages that happen. So here's what we'll do in order to now change our default consciousness. And this is the hard part for most people. This is the hard part for most people. So hopefully that helped. And until next time. The situations 10 years ago is not happening today. However, we use those situations to judge our action today. List out all the egos, get all your emotions, and list them out. We need to get a director, cut out this scene, put in this scene instead, change this narrative, put in this narrative instead.